Hi there, and welcome to Draw With Me. I'm Danny Gregory, and it's Thursday, and it's time to crack out the old art supplies, dust them off, sharpen them up, uncap them, get ready to make some cool stuff. As you saw from that intro little bit that we just had, an awful lot of awesome squares. Yeah, it's true. Chris points out that there were probably more squares. I don't even remember how many there were. There were lots and lots of them. And each one, of course, had lots and lots of pieces in it. So it's conceivable that there were hundreds. And that's one of the cool things about drawing squares, as we discovered last week, is you can just knock them out. Knock out lots of art and get back into the habit of doing it easily. No muss, no fuss. No inner critic, just making stuff. So I'm glad to see all of you here. And John Cromer, welcome. I'm exposing you on the stage of public acknowledgement. Yes, so thank you.
Tell people that your external critic is here?
You'll be glad to know that, where is she? There she is. Right by my heart. JJ is making a return appearance. We'll see. She's on probation. We'll see how this works out. And similarly, Twiggy is down there somewhere. Twiggy is down there chewing a bone. So the gang's all here, and I'm glad that you are here too. We're gonna have some fun today. I don't think it'll be a really hard day. It's not gonna be hard. It's gonna be fun, and that's the idea. Is to have fun making art, to make it into a habit. All right, so today I wanted to, first of all, tell you a bit about what we're going to be doing, and what it's kind of a tribute to an artist who you may or may not know, or you may not know that you know. We'll see. So his name is Bernard Kliban. Bernard Kliban. He didn't like Bernard, so his friends called him Hap, but he was probably best known as just B. Kliban. That was kind of his name, artist that he was known as. Anyway, born January 1st, 1935, so New Year's baby, and he died on August 12th, 1990. Today, of course, is August 12th. So today is the 31st, 31st anniversary of his death. And bravo to those of you who identified him as B. Kliban. This is the book that I remember as a kid, having as a teenager. Never eat anything bigger than your head. He was a cartoonist who worked for Playboy magazine for a really long time, starting in the early 60s. And I just bought Playboy magazine for the drawings, of course, when I was a teenager. But this is another of his books, Whack Your Porcupine. But he was probably best known for this book, Cat. And, he just had a great drawing style and a great sense of humor. Cat, one hell of a nice animal, frequently mistaken for a meatloaf. And this book, I don't know, I think in the 80s, everybody had this book, right? We all had it. But today I want to focus on his cat drawings, because that's probably what he's most famous for. And so today, we're just going to look at these cat drawings, which are beautiful. I mean, his cross-hatching is great, but just the character, and the idea is like this one of a cat skinny dipping. So great. Cat Halloween, I guess. Cat fight. Cat tarot reader. Yes, Thistle. I've been inspired by you. Thistle has been drawing cats. We've been seeing a lot of Thistle's cat drawings of late. So, yeah, you were part of the inspiration too. as well as Hap Kliban. Cat dishwasher. That's just such a gorgeous drawing, you know? So elegant, simple. But it just shows you, I mean, how you can also take a really pretty basic, simple drawing and by putting in a lot of hard work into it, you can really turn it into something dimensional and gorgeous and, you know, cat annoying people, cat destroying the studio. So, today it's about cats. We're going to be drawing cats in all their various forms, however you want to draw them.
You think Twiggy would like cats?
Has Twiggy ever met a cat? There's one cat that comes into our backyard periodically. I don't think she has any awareness of cats as a thing. It's not a thing I doubt that she would like it, but so we're going to be drawing cats and having some fun doing that. So we drew dogs a couple weeks ago, and invariably, whenever I draw dogs on Draw With Me, dogs being my first love when it comes to drawing aminals, invariably I feel compelled to draw cats in the interest of fair balance. So, yeah. Claire's asking where his originals in black pen. I honestly have no idea. I doubt that other people added color to his stuff, but maybe they did. I mean, I know that there are colored versions of some of his things, but you know, he's a 60s illustrator, so I'm sure working in black and white was an important part of what he did. So, all right. As Jen says, you know, she says, I never appreciated his cross-hatching until you mentioned it because they were so witty. It's true. I mean, I think you just remember them as images, but I think now that we're artists and we're looking at things as artists, we want to appreciate his draftsmanship as well and his style of creating images. So, so get your cat drawing material together. I just want to talk to you briefly about this upcoming workshop that we have, Lively City, and I want to tell you something kind of cool about it, which is, you know, so often when we put together a workshop, we have to create what we call a thumbnail, which is like a little drawing, little thing that becomes an icon. And in the case of Jedidiah Dore's work, I struggled to figure out which one to use, because every time I would put down one of his drawings into the thumbnail, I would think, God, that is so great. Every one of them is so powerful and interesting. And so I kind of went back and forth. I'm not sure. I think we've kind of interchanged the ones that we use just because there's so many great pieces that he's made. So much energy to his drawings, amazing urban sketching. And he combines like the simplicity and complexity. Simple, like it looks, you'll see when you see him draw that he is very fast in how he works, but also there's like an interesting process that he goes through. So these things end up looking really complex, but when you see how they're built and you see the process that he goes through, it seems doable. So if you look at this, you may say to yourself, I could never do something like that, but I think this workshop is going to be really great because you're going to come away from it saying, I actually do know how to do that. I mean, I don't know if you'll know how to do this particular one of a drawing of basically all of Midtown Manhattan, but you know, you'll at least know how it's done, and it'll be really helpful. And I think these are techniques that are useful no matter what you're going to be drawing. So, all right. I realize I distracted you by talking about cats before bringing this on. So next time I'm going to do it in a different sequence. So, so that you're less distracted by cute animals. But anyway, yes, as Emma says, this is going to be a great workshop, and it's on August 28th. So you have a couple weeks left. I'm going to keep talking about it. So don't think that that's a reason not to sign up today. But I know you probably won't. You'll probably be waiting. And I will continue to give you reasons to try it out. So, all right, that is the next workshop coming up. And now let's talk about cats. I'm thinking of drawing. I don't really know how I'm going to feel like drawing today. I don't know what my actual process is going to be. It's going to be kind of instinctive. But so I'm going to be using this mixed media paper. It's from Hahnemühle, and it is it's bamboo. So I like this bamboo paper. I'm getting more and more used to it. I'm drawing on it an awful lot. But this mixed media paper means that I don't have to worry about what I don't have to decide in advance. I can just say, you know what, let's just grab any old thing, throw it at the paper, and it'll be fine. So that is cool. So let's get a model up here. Here's a little cat. Here's a kitty. This is a particularly cute one, I have to say. Again, I don't mind cats. I owned them when I was a much younger person, when I lived with other people who like cats, but
I mean, Twiggy's kind of like a cat.
You think she's like a cat? Like
She's not really a dog.
All right, yeah, she's more of a monkey, but all right. Here we go. Okay, so I think I'm not gonna be working like Hap Kliban. I'm just gonna be slathering it on and then working my way back. So I'm just gonna start by just putting down some color and seeing where we go from there. I think we should.
Interesting that you chose like orange for this gray cat.
I'm not drawing this cat.
Oh.
I'm using this cat as reference, which means I'm looking at it. So I go, okay, how exactly does a cat come together? What are the bits? And then later on, we'll figure out what kind of cat it is. But I find because I don't draw cats all that much, it is helpful to have some kind of a reference. And so I'm just kind of making this guy up as we go. This is my muse, but not necessarily. My meows, but not necessarily my... Hey, I like you. You're kind of cultivating an Ed McMahon chuckle back there. That's good.
I'm really opposed to being called Ed McMahon.
Yes, all right.
You're stumped, huh?
Who, me? How am I stumped? I'm just... This is a cute cat. Cats' eyes are pretty different from dogs. They're almost more like snakes' eyes. Maybe it's just the way that the light reflects into them, but they have...
You managed to make this cat look grumpy.
Yeah, I know. Remember when Grumpy Cat was such a phenomenon? I think that cat died.
No.
Yeah, I think it did.
Oh no, grumpy cat.
I'm gonna cover this page with cats. So this is just a warm-up cat. So I may come back and do some more stuff later on. Hey, look, I'm getting it all over my hands already. Awesome, and all over the page. I think it's watercolor though, so these are watercolor markers. So.
Do you want some hand sanitizer?
No, I don't want hand sanitizer. God. That's a product that I never have ever used before the pandemic, and I hope never to have to use it again. It's vile. Hand sanitizer. Oh, I know what my problem is. I'm using a watercolor pencil. That's why I'm having this problem. Okay. So one of the things I've been getting into using pencils to draw with in combination with watercolor because they don't react to the water. Unless, of course, they're watercolor pencils, in which case, of course, they do. So I just grabbed the wrong kind. All right, let's move on. This cat is not getting me that excited. Maybe I need just another model. All right, let's get rid of this cat. In fact, I'm going to get rid of this whole page. No. Warm-up cat, be gone. I need to start by drawing.
What color are you going to make this one? Purple?
Could be. What? What's going on back there?
Pencil down.
Yeah, pencil down. That's why there are pencil sharpeners.
Oh my goodness.
What? Kliban does this sort of style of face drawing that is, it's worth looking at. He always gives the cat like a sort of little mini trunk there, and
Trunk?
well, sort of trunk-like appendage. Here, I mean, it's. Let me see, I'll show you one of his faces. Is here. See that? It's like a little. It's trunk-like. Then he draws the bottom part. In fact, let's look at that again because it might be worth just doing a copy of that. So he.
I mean, your cat is looking like an owl.
Yeah. So he draws this.
What do you mean trunk?
Well, it's a rectangle with a triangle at the bottom.
Oh, the nose.
Yeah. And then he draws this thing, like that, little jowls. So it looks a bit more jolly than mine does.
And less like an owl.
Yeah. Mine's more sort of quizzical, sort of Sol Steinberg looking. But I kind of like that curl to the mouth there. It's nice.
I feel like you should give this cat glasses.
There we go. It's got glasses on now. Looks like it has a little mustache. We'll make it a tabby cat. And yeah, I find it actually helps to not look at the reference. As you can see, it certainly doesn't help to look at the reference. Let's put it that way. So now I'm going to try and make one up entirely my own.
I do like how you made those cute little feet.
Yeah. going.
You know who hasn't turned up yet?
Who's that?
The landscapers.
Oh, that's true. It is Thursday. Normally our landscapers would be here by now. But, yeah. All right, that's better. Sometimes I find when I'm drawing something I haven't drawn before, and I'm using reference to sort of slavishly, it can end up having just no personality at all, because I'm kind of just struggling with the likeness. But you can kind of step away from it, and just say, all right, I've kind of looked at it, looked at what it looks like a couple times. Now let me just try having at it. Just take a running jump at it and see what happens. So. All right, that's a bit better. Looks like a nice... Cats have much less sort of defined bodies than dogs do. You know, their whole torso seems to sort of sink into, you know, their fur, and it's just, they're not as athletic looking as dogs are, I think. Is that right? Particularly this cat.
Do you want to give people back the first reference so they can screenshot it?
Sure, you want to see that first cat again? Huh? That's not it, though. Where is it? Here it is. I'll leave that one in there. While I draw another one. I haven't really drawn cats much from life, you know. The days when I owned a cat, I wasn't really into drawing that much, so never really studied them. If you have a cat, I'm sure you have studied it and drawn it. I've also forgotten whiskers. That makes all the difference. Whiskers, of course. Plobs on sticks, says Thistle.
Maybe you should tell the story about the time Tom Kane's cat got out of the carrier while he was driving, pooped in his lap, and made him have an accident.
I don't think I'm going to tell that story. All right. Let's just try something different now. I'm gonna try drawing.
You want to give them a new model?
Okay, let's get another cat up on the stage here. Let's get rid of these other guys.
I think you have to tell them the Tom Kane story.
Okay, I will tell the story. So my friend Tom, he acquired a cat through marriage. I think that's basically what happened. And you know, he'd never owned any kind of pet before, really. But he came to really love this cat, and but the cat was sort of out of control. And was he taking it to the vet? Where was he taking it to?
I think it just got out of its carrier.
Yeah, so he was driving through Brooklyn with this cat, and the cat somehow got out of the carrier and was wandering around the car while Tom was driving, and then it jumped on his lap and started to poop on him while he was driving. And that, to me, in some ways, kind of summarizes what cats are all about. Is that uncharitable? Unpopular thing to say? But yeah, a dog would never do that. Never. Did I tell it wrong? Did I leave any parts out?
Well, yeah, then he got in a wreck.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yes, then he crashed the car into somebody else. I don't remember the details of the story very well. That's why I'm not telling it particularly well.
Janice knew it was Ace the cat.
Yes, Ace. But you'd go over to their house and you'd hardly ever see those cats. There were two of them. You'd hardly ever see them. They weren't particularly friendly.
Oh, I think landscapers are pulling up.
Excellent. About time.
I think I just got some caboose juice.
Yeah, Twiggy has one or two unsavory features, one of which is what we call caboose juice, which is when she sits on you.
Which is just what it sounds like.
Just what it sounds like, caboose juice. So yeah, but would a cat do that? Can cats do that?
No, that's
No?
a gross dog thing.
You never see a cat like dragging its butt along carpet, right? Wilma makes the point that cats don't have facial muscles, so they can't emulate human expressions like dogs can. I think that may be true, but I don't think of dogs as particularly having facial expressions. Do you?
Oh, I do.
I mean, the way they tilt their heads and stuff like that. But do you think of them as actually like being able to like smile and stuff?
And I think dogs like open and close their eyes more like people. You know, like they get fearful eyes and.
They have more expressive eyes in general.
Yeah.
You know. They also care more about what people think. Unless they're doing whatever she's doing back there. Yeah, this cat's getting a bit better. A bit more expressive. Cats have, I think they have eyes that are like this, right? There's like a thing. It's not round. It seems weird that would be the case. Maybe they're just more sensitive to light or something, but they seem to have those kinds of eyes as opposed to dogs, which are, their eyes are basically fill the whole hole. You know, if you see the whites of a dog's eyes, it's usually because they're giving you the side eye. This cat does look terrified, it's true. It's terrified of the way I'm drawing it. Let's try him again. Do you have a shorthand for drawing cats? Because I think that's another thing, is like when you're a kid, you learn how to draw a cat pretty easily, right? It's like 2 triangles. Eye hole, eyes, little thing like that, thing comes down. And then some whisker holes. There's also, that's a large-footed cat. There's that sort of style of thing too, the tail. See, it immediately becomes a dog. Can't help myself. Yeah, this is just really a dog with pointed ears. Give it this.
It's Twiggy.
This? It is Twiggy, right? And quickly make it into Twiggy. That's true. JF makes this point about cats' tails, that they can tuck them all in. They're not just, they're not like dogs where the cat is basically, the tail is in one position. Cats are sinuous, right?
What?
Sinuous.
What kind of an SAT word is that? What does that even mean?
Sinuous. Like a snake.
Ew, come on.
Well, like sinews. Yeah, you can have the tail can be wrapped around their feet like that anyway.
Wilma said I said a few facial muscles, not none.
Impassive mask. Good Lord. Why did I ever decide to draw cats today? I can't think of how to draw their tails. It's so annoying. Go back to Kliban and have a look there. Look how cute that is. But that cat also looks kind of deranged. Big fat body. All right, I'm going to just shamelessly copy the way he draws cats. I'm not going to put mine on a slide, but I'm going to look at it and copy it pretty shamelessly. You real cat, get out of here. Scat. Okay, that's a good face reference. Let's have a look at this.
Oh my goodness.
What? What are you laughing at?
I mean, I think you should maybe just start over.
Now you'll see. This guy's going to be great. It's a bit like Pink Panther. And he draws little nostril holes. Show me a proper body somewhere. How's this? No, that's no good either.
I told you to start over.
All right, well, I think this will work. Spite your doubts. There we go. That's how the tail would go, kind of, right? This is disastrous. All right, I got to stop looking at what other people are doing.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, things are starting to fall. All right, I got to be bold. I got to be bold.
Why don't you use a pen?
There we go. That's art. All right, now it's getting good. Now when this dries, it'll look amazing, but it might take a couple hours for that to happen. So meanwhile, let's have a cup of tea. There's no point, sometimes you start going down disastrous side roads and you have to step back or you have to get wild. So that's what I'm calling this. This at least feels confident. Chris is asking what I was doing. I was using these Winsor Newton inks there. So I like just having that, they're nice because you can just grab them and throw them down. They're not, you don't have to, they're like watercolors, but they're brighter, So there you have it. I'm exhausted. Exhausted by that whole experience. But yeah, you gotta just pound through it, and then, you know what they say, if at first you don't succeed, quit, because there's just no point in being a damn fool about it. So that's what I've done. I'm putting this aside. It's not called draw well with me.
Sure isn't.
Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to draw 100 cats. I'm going to draw 100 cats. And hey, look, this cat wasn't bad. It even blinks. And I drew that out of my head. What do you think? What do you think about that cat? No? Twiggy?
Yeah, I like the blinking.
She likes the blinking. Do cats blink? That was probably my mistake. Cats don't really blink. Do they?
I mean, everything blinks.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to draw 100 cats. Lisbeth agrees with me that it's a good thing. It's like penance. I'm going to draw 100 cats, and then we'll see what happens. I'll report back on that.
You'll get one good one.
Yeah. Boy, you're a tough audience. Glad there's only one of you in here. Yeah.
Somebody's asking, why would you if you don't really like drawing cats?
You know, because I'm an adult. And you can't just do what you like. You can't just do what you like. You have to do what you don't like. I think, why would I draw 100 cats if I don't like to do cats? I think you have to push through the things that you are afraid of and the things that you're bad at. I don't like the idea that there are places that I'm unwilling to go. So I feel like by drawing 100 cats, I will find a thing to love about drawing cats. And that thing, even if I never draw another cat again, will make me better at what I do. You know, I think that's sort of the objective, is to grow, right? Because otherwise, you know how when you were in like middle school, let's say, and you were really good at drawing a certain thing, right? Like really good at drawing Batman, or really good at drawing cute mermaids, or whatever it was. Every kid had those things that they were good at drawing, and you just draw them compulsively. You draw hundreds of them all over the place. It didn't make you good at drawing, though. It made you good or comfortable drawing that one thing. But the challenge, I think, is to take that and to push that confidence into other things. So, you know, my anxiety about drawing cats is exacerbated by the fact that I have you watching me, and I have these guys in the background
Making fun of you.
mocking me. It's a lot of pressure, people. You know? So if I can push through and draw a decent cat under those circumstances, then I'll be a better man for it. But, you know, I think it's part of growth in general is eating your vegetables, you know, doing the things you don't want to do necessarily, because it will make you better. Why is getting better so important? Why is that even a thing? Why do I want to get better? You know, I think the drawing is more fun when you feel strong and confident, and you say to yourself, I can really draw anything, or I can enter any situation, any drawing situation, and know how to tackle it. You know, I think it's like if you, you know, when you go to a bar and there's like a guy at the cocktail piano, and you know, what is it, they called cocktail pianists, cocktail bar lounge pianists, whatever, those guys with a big brandy snifter on the piano, and you can go up to them and you can say, play anything X, and they can play it. You know, and they may not play it incredibly well, but they can play anything, and I think that that's what we would all like. We would all like to be able to draw anything, but it takes work, and it takes uncomfortableness to do that, you know. It's like we take this yoga class that's called yin yoga, where you hold a position for a long time, like 3 or 4 minutes, and the instructor is always saying, you will be uncomfortable through this whole class, but make sure you're never in pain, but you should always be in discomfort, because that's when you're stretching your joints and your tendons or whatever to new positions. And I think our drawing life can be like that too, where we're just tight and clenched and we're holding ourselves in a certain way And that's unconscious. We don't even know that we're doing it. But if we can loosen up, we can achieve new things. We can go to new directions, and we can, in our drawing life, to belabor the metaphor, we are safe to do all kinds of things. We're not going to rupture ourselves, So drawing cats, something that I don't know. I'm trying to think. There are a lot of other things that I don't draw that often and don't draw that well. Cars was a thing for a long time, and now I'm better at drawing cars. Still not great at it. But dogs, self-portraits, I'm really good at now because I have done so many of them. And but like drawing people in motion is something that's a challenge. There's a lot of things that are challenges. So so push yourself in new directions. I can't stand it when I hear someone say, "Oh, I don't draw faces," or "I don't draw animals," or it's not that you don't. It is that you don't, and it's not that you can't. It's that you don't. So if you do, you will. I think you'll feel better about your drawing. And even if I never draw cats for pleasure, I'll feel better that I have. So, yes, as Kathy points out, and teacups. I am really good at drawing teacups at this point. And at emptying them. So there's a life lesson in that too. Yeah, And I would also say, your really lousy drawings, keep them. Keep them, It's like, it's a reminder of how far you've come and what you've accomplished. Because I think what happens so often is, even no matter how long we've been drawing and making art, we still get to the point where we say, "Oh, this sucked, I suck." But then if you look back at the journey that you've been on and you see the landmarks you've passed and you see where you began and you see how far you've come, it will reaffirm what you're doing, and it will show you, you can progress, and you need those reminders. Because if all you rely on is your memory and your inner critic to judge your progress, it will never be accurate, let alone charitable, let alone encouraging. So, make sure that you retain the souvenirs of your journey. That's why I like sketchbooks, because I think sketchbooks are a great way of almost chronologically charting your progress. And you can look back at your very first one, and you can look back at the very first page of your very first one, and you can compare it with where you are today. And you can see how far you've come, because that's all it takes. That's really all it takes for you to achieve your drawing potential, is to keep doing it. And actually, that's not even a good term, drawing potential, because I think that continues to unfold. I probably years ago I drew really good cats. I don't really remember, but that's another thing that happens is the cycles where you draw something well and then you cease to be able to draw it well, and then you can come back to it. But a lot of times, if you drew something well and you've forgotten how to do it, when you come back and do it again, those muscles and neural connections are revived much more easily than when you first built them. So it is easier to start up again. It will take less work than it did in the first place. So just, keep going and plowing through the crap that you make. I read somewhere, somebody just said, crap is fertilizer. Right? So it pushes you to, Carney, how do you get better if you don't draw? But what does that mean, you don't draw and paint things? Do draw, paint, and paint things. Draw them. Paint them. See what you learn. Because the reason that you're not getting, quote unquote, better is maybe because you're not pushing yourself and you're not gaining confidence. So push yourself into doing something that you don't do, and then you will gain confidence. And then when you come back to what you thought was the only kind of art you make, you may approach it differently. And you may in fact find that, you can actually do a lot more than you thought. So yes, all right. I'm going to gather up my cat drawings and slink away with my tail between my legs.
Do you think you'll show the...
Oh yes, I have a few other things to do. Sorry, I have a couple of other things to do. One thing I want to do is I wanted to, just to humble me and humble ourselves, let's have a look at a really amazing sketchbook that is not mine, and that is my friend Andrea Joseph's sketchbook. And this is a sketchbook that will make grown men weep, possibly grown women too. So Andrea Joseph has been part of Sketchbook School basically from the beginning. And looking back, this is one of her earlier not earlier sketchbooks, but it was a sketchbook. She kind of does, her art has changed since then, but when you see this, you will be agog. It's brought to you by Winsor Newton, one of our two awesome sponsors, the other being Hahnemühle, who made this bamboo paper that I just tragically offended. Here we go, let's have a look at Andrea. Anyway, Andrea Joseph, almost all done in ballpoint pen. Ballpoint pen, Bic pen. Yep. Andrea, she taught in our class called Seeing, and she also taught an entire class called Creative Lettering for us. And she's also appeared in Spark, and hopefully I will be bringing her back to do some more stuff with us. She's incredible, and she is just a beautiful person as well, and she's great. So anyway, that was the inspiration.
She's better than you.
Of course she's better than me. Anyway, I want to, let me just go through these sequentially so that they're not. So first of all, if you drew cats today and they were any good, put them on social media and tag them #SBS draw with me. Not draweth me, but draw with me. What?
Send us your worst.
Or send us your bad ones too. We don't really care. And we will show them next time. Hopefully we'll have 100 of them, and that'll be really cool. Good Lord. What else? Subscribe to this channel and like this video, even if you didn't like my cats. Just do it. Here's what happens when you subscribe to this or any channel on YouTube, then more people see it. And when more people see it, more people will feel better about drawing, and the world will become a better place, and climate change will end, the virus will go away, there'll be full employment, you know, everything possible good in the world will happen. And all you have to do is click subscribe. And then also you'll be notified next time we put up a video. I put up a video every week or so beyond this one. You can check that out too. So please do. What else? Lively City coming up August 28th. I hope you'll sign up and join us there because it's going to be really fun. And thanks again to Winsor Newton and Hahnemühle. Their art supplies are better than I make them look. How's that for a tagline? Thanks very much for joining me, guys. I'll see you next time. It was lots of fun, and it'll be even more fun next time, I promise you. Thank you, JJ Twiglet. Thanks for joining.